So the stock market wasn't so hot today, guys. We went down across the board and the VIX went up, what, 9%? Yeah, 8%. So we have to go over a stock I bought, in this case, call options. We're going to break down that trade, kind of my mindset behind it, and I want to go over the overall market, which again, guys, went down across the board. The S&P went down 0.3%, Dow down 0.5, and we had the Russell down actually barely, so pretty much broke even. As what are we missing? QQQ, it went down 0.25%. So buckle up, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, join the Patreon if you want to keep up with what I'm doing in real time. Literally, everybody in the Patreon knows the moves I make in real time. Portfolio updates every week and a private Discord. It's all linked down below, pinned in the comments as well. Let's get into it now, guys. So look, SPY, QQQ, every index went down across the board, and it looks like heading into tomorrow, we're starting to rebound already. You can actually see on the intraday chart, we saw a nice run into close all throughout power hour, right? Pretty much. And we're popping now after the bell as well. So SPY closed at 683. Now we're pushing 684. In fact, we almost got the 685 just like literally 5-10 minutes ago. So we're rebounding after the bell. We rebounded into close, and we're bouncing off of the moving averages here on the 1 hour chart. And I'm telling you guys, whether it's tomorrow, the next day, if we break 685, we have a wide open gap up to 690. And I think we're going higher towards 700 by the end of the year. I think we're going there, guys. And QQQ, if I pull this up, same setup, We tried breaking through 625, big resistance from November, right? We got rejected. Now we're pulling back a little bit, and it looks like buyers are coming in. And again, we rallied into close. Power hour was strong. We're up after the bell right now. So I think QQQ is getting ready for that push over 625, 626. And at that point, I think we could fill the gap up towards 635, 640. And, we'll go from there. So even though we had a red day, the setup is still pretty good right now, in my opinion. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of how we're looking. It's looking good heading into that Federal Reserve meeting, which you guys know that's coming up here on Wednesday, where we're going to get the Fed funds rate, the decision, the whole 9 yards, right? So let's now just dive right into a stock that I just bought, which, I mean, you guys in the Patreon know already. In this case, I bought call options on Oracle, ticker ORCL, which they do have earnings coming up, guys, on Wednesday, and I'm not much of an earnings trader, but I do think this one is gonna rebound. Maybe not directly after earnings, although I think there is a decent likelihood it could pop on earnings. But I think ultimately, heading into the new year, I think there's going to be more upside on Oracle. I think we're going to break through, the mid 200s. It's actually a big resistance on the stock right now. You can see 225 to 250. That's where we struggled to break through before the OpenAI news over the summer, which, by the way, we're currently under the stock price that we were at before the OpenAI news, which is nuts, right? As overall AI stocks have taken a hit, you know what I mean? But I think it's just too beaten up. We're at max, maybe not max pessimism right now, but I think it's arguably overblown, the fears behind Oracle. Yeah, they have a lot of debt. Yeah, this could be a problem. Are they really at risk for default? I mean, you see these things going around on Twitter. Yeah, I mean, there's always a risk, but I think it's just a little overblown. I think earnings are going to be strong. Guidance is going to be strong. And I think overall, investors, traders are going to be like, wait a second, why is this thing down 40% from all-time highs? Maybe that's a bit overblown. So I'm not really in these call options, which, by the way, I didn't even mention which ones I'm in. I'm in the March 20th $200 call options. So I have over 100 days till expiration, and I'm not in these call options for a moonshot back to 350. That's not the play here. I bought in the money call options. They have intrinsic value already at the $200 strike price, so a bit safer there. Obviously, no call option is safe 100%, duh. But the purpose of this trade is essentially to get If the stock gets to like 250, 275, that could be stretching it. That's where I'm looking to make the money here. The purpose of this is, okay, if we get that rebound after earnings, maybe a couple weeks after earnings, if the market got it wrong, too much pessimism is being priced in, the whole purpose is, okay, profit on that overreaction to the downside if they surprise strongly and the stock breaks out over the coming weeks. That's how this plays out, or it works out. If it works out, it might not work out for all we know. I might lose money, guys. Hey, this might be a terrible decision, but, the fact that they're in the money, $200 calls, they expire over 100 days out, that makes me feel pretty comfortable, where I'm at right now. So, yeah, I mean, that's really the gist of it. And we covered Oracle's numbers, the expectations in my video yesterday, so we're not going to harp too much on that. But you're seeing on Wall Street, analysts are still overwhelmingly bullish on Oracle. They just are, and of course, you got to take that with a grain of salt. We don't just buy stocks based on the analysts, but if you think about Oracle, the deals they've made, the ties, the CEO of Oracle has with the government, there's so many things, so many ties. I don't think this company is going to go bankrupt, default, well, no one's saying it's going to go bankrupt. I don't think any of that's going to happen. I don't. And I think it's being overblown. And I think into 2026, this is a big rebound play. And I'm not saying it's going to go to $400, although I did see a price target of $400 today, guys. But could we go back to 250, 275? Absolutely, over the coming weeks on strong earnings. And that's where those calls are going to print. That's where they're going to make money. And if you look at the chart, it looks good across the board. On the 1-year chart, healthy pullback, the uptrend still holding. On the 3-year chart, we look pretty good. You guys see that right here. Higher lows are being made. Boom, right here, right here. So yeah, I like the way it's setting up. Technically, the fundamentals are strong. And again, the fear over the debt, I think, is a little overblown. And if they surprise, the market's going to react pretty bullishly, in my opinion. And a big snapback could be coming in the stock. And if we look at the chart, we did break through the 50 SMA recently. On the 4-hour time frame, we broke through that point on, I think, about a week ago. And now we're testing the 180 SMA. My alert's set at 230. I might as well put another one at 225. If these levels break on good earnings, man, I think this thing's going to fly. And again, that's why I'm in this trade. So, and again, it's a trade. It's not a long-term investment. I didn't buy shares of Oracle here. It's just a trade in the short term. And if it works out, it works out. If not, it won't be the first trade that didn't work out, guys. It happens. It's the name of the game. And, again, the calls expire in March. So the exit plan here is, if it doesn't work out, I'm going to be out of the calls probably by the end of this month, maybe even, or maybe January. I'll let them ride a little bit into January. But, the ideal scenario here would be, okay, I'm out of these calls by December or maybe early next year. If I don't want to book the profit here in December in 2025, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's the quick rundown. It's a trade, guys. I think we're going higher here. Maybe not the day after earnings, but ultimately over the coming weeks, I think we're going to do well. And yeah, that's the quick breakdown there. That's what I'm doing right now with this stock, at least. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe, and check out the Patreon. Again, if you want to be a part of the Discord, private Discord, and see my portfolio updates week in, week out. I just posted one earlier today. We're investing $1,000 a week. If you want to see how I build a portfolio with that amount of money every week, and we're growing it like crazy, it's linked down below on Patreon, also pinned in the comments. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in there. Shout out to everybody that's been joining. You guys are awesome. I'll see you in there. Have a great rest of your night.